Hello and welcome to Theatre.Reviews with Paul Severn. I'm here at the Royal Court Theatre to see Nicola Walker in The Unbelievers. A boy vanishes without a trace just before his 16th birthday. His mother, Miriam, played by Nicola Walker, is devastated. We witness her and her family's unravelling in the days immediately after his disappearance, 1 year later, and then 7 years later. It's a harrowing experience for them, but does it make for compelling theatre? And what about Nicola Walker? There are many times I've booked to see a play just because she's in it. In fact, I suspect I've reviewed her more times than any other actor. Did she disappoint on this occasion? Well, keep watching and I'll tell you the surprising answers to these questions. But first, please like, comment and subscribe to this channel, and visit my website, Theatre.Reviews, for the written versions of these reviews and roundups of other critics' reviews, including average ratings and which shows are the best value. The point of the play is also the problem with it. While the boy's two sisters and his father gradually attempt to reconcile themselves to his absence, Miriam refuses to accept that her son will not return. The timeline jumps back and forth as if to show that she never changes, that time has stood still for her, and the family find it increasingly difficult to coexist with her despite their evident compassion. Their struggle stems partly from her obsessive focus on her missing son and partly from her perpetual anger. Unfortunately, while her determination could be seen as heroic, this unchanging emotional state eventually alienated me as much as it did her family. Nick Payne's play examines what happens when someone is psychologically unable to move beyond trauma, and it's a fascinating concept, yet as drama, it can feel repetitive. And that's despite the best efforts of superb director Marianne Elliott, who does inject pace and passion into the production. Well, Nicola Walker delivers an intense and characteristically nuanced performance, complete with her familiar tics and stutters that give such emotional authenticity. However, and I hate to say this, after a while, her sarcastic giggling at others' perceived absurdities and repeatedly saying people should go themselves becomes somewhat wearisome. Convincing as she is, I found it difficult to stay emotionally invested in her character. And the supporting characters remain sketchily drawn, defined mainly by their reactions to Miriam. Paul Higgins, as the husband or ex-husband, spends much of his time shouting. Alby Baldwin, portraying the elder daughter, grieves mostly in silence. Miriam's ex-husband, a priest, played by Marquez, flounders helplessly. Only the younger daughter, Lucy Thackeray, develops a bit. She finds a partner, she becomes pregnant, and she tries hardest to reconnect with her mother. "I just want my mum back," she pleads poignantly. You're watching Theatre Reviews with Paul Severn. Still to come, my thoughts on the unusual set and what did and didn't work in this play. Nicola Walker is on stage continuously, while other actors, when not in the scene, sit silently in a dimly lit upstage area. Now, ordinarily, performers would exit, allowing the illusion that their lives continue off stage. Here, however, the visible waiting room seems to symbolise how, for Miriam, her missing son Oscar remains ever present, whereas everyone else is out of sight, out of mind. Defending her attitude, she says that if any of them had disappeared, she wouldn't give up on them either. But ironically, in this situation, she has. The spare set, designed by Bunny Christie, effectively mirrors Miriam's preoccupation. We glimpse Miriam's experience of the last 7 years, the early dealings with the police, subsequent false sightings and internet trolls, and the desperation of spiritualism and prayer. Now, these should be heart-wrenching moments, but, well, they fail to resonate with me because I never felt sufficiently connected to the characters. because there's no story arc, no character development, and no resolution, I mean, we never know how or why Oscar disappeared, or whether he's alive or dead, I found the journey a little monotonous and felt deflated rather than emotionally drained by the end. On the other hand, it was interesting and unexpectedly humorous, and, as always, Nicola Walker delivered good value. I give The Unbelievers 3 stars. I hope you found this review useful, and if you did, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, then you'll be the first to know about my future reviews. And if you want to read my reviews and my roundups of other critics' reviews, then visit my website, Theatre.Reviews. You can also find me on social media like Instagram, Mastodon, Blue Sky, Threads, and others. Thank you for watching, and if you are, thank you for listening.